There we go. Peace, 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 peace. I hope you're well. Let me get this cleared. Boom. There we go. Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, check. Bam. Peace, peace, peace. Come on in. Come on in on this beautiful Sunday. I am Rami, the Moorish American. Today, Dirty Moors Exposed, episode number 2. We are speaking about a person that goes by the name of Cozmo L, aka Nathaniel. Mr. Nathaniel Booth L / Cosmo L. Come on in. I pinned the link there. Peace, Swindle. Peace, Swindle. I pinned the link there just to give some folks some context. Sent a message to Cosmo's quote-unquote temple. This was about a week ago and said, please join the live if you would like to discuss this. Wanted to make sure. And that was in part because I wanted to extend an olive branch to these people that I'm going to be talking about as these episodes continue to correct themselves. You know what I mean? Because the truth is I'm focused on solutions, and I want to help restore the Moor Science Temple of America back to what Drew Ali intended and created it for. But in order to do that, we have to clean up a lot of the dirt and the problems that have resulted from disunity, discord, disharmony, lack of organization, lack of truth and transparency. All of these things have been affecting the Moor Science Temple of America, and also people's perception of Moors or Moorish Americans, as well as Moors or Moorish Americans' perceptions of what this is supposed to be. And it's been completely misconstrued and distorted and corrupted. So we have some work to do. We have some work to do. So today it is about Cosmo L, aka Mr. Nathaniel. Let me put this back on the screen. Get me up out of there. Is this better? No, I think this is better. So this right here is the website of his and his organization. The website is prophetnobledrewali.org. And so, man, you hear this brother Cosmo, and he got the website prophetnobledrewali.org. Must be official. And so you go there and you see right here, boom, front page. They have some literature from Noble Drew Ali. Welcome. You can subscribe. Ooh, a constitution and bylaws, the Moor Science Temple of America. Okay. Looks official. Boom. Our authority. Okay. This is a document from back in the day from Noble Drew Ali and the organization. Man, if you don't know any better, you would think this is legitimate. Hey, man, this site has the information. Look, right there. It even has the source, has some blogs. Well, now, when we look at the blogs, let's zoom in a little bit. Now, the dates on the blogs are a little outdated, Last post was September 25th, 2023. I mean, that's quite some time ago. I don't know if that's active and not passive, but let's get back to it. We're going to scroll up, you know what I mean? Now, these documents is for the Moor Science Temple of America, and it says our divine constitution and bylaw. Do we see that? Moor Science Temple of America. This is the organization that Noble Drew Ali created. Here it says our divine constitution and bylaws. Makes me think, hey, this is a Moor Science Temple of America. It's official. We'll just check services. Interesting. Keys of civilization. Khalifa Convention Band of Moors. That's interesting because Noble Drew Ali didn't create a Khalifa convention. What is that? Okay, well, services. A little confused on what services are offered. I mean, it looks like whoa, they got their own credit card? Is that what they got going on? I don't know. Interesting. Products. Do they have something for sale? I'm sure they got something for sale. Oh, yes, they got something for sale. If nothing else, they're going to sell some stuff, huh? But I'm sure they're going to say, there's people that will say, well, Noble Drew Ali said, if you want to change the condition of the people, you have to change the literature. No worries. We're going to go to temples. We'll keep going. Whoa. I went to temples, and now all of a sudden, it changes. It says United Moor Science Temple of America. Well, let's go back. Just to be sure. We're doing this together, okay? Okay. We go back down to our divine constitution and bylaws. Let's wait for it to load up. We'll zoom in just to make sure we see what it says. Everybody see that with me? The Moor Science Temple of America. Now, Noble Drew Ali created the Moor Science Temple of America. That's it. That's the name of it. It's a religious organization. So, what is this? Can anyone tell me? Our officers, some officers of our national grand body, United Moor Science Temple of America. Now, Noble Drew Ali didn't create this United Moor Science Temple of America, but it says that he's the founder. That's not true. That's a lie. It's not true at all. Let's scroll down. And look who we have here at the top. Mr. Nathaniel Boothell, National Grand Sheik of the United Moor Science Temple of America. Now, Brother Nathaniel Boothell, how did you become the National Grand Sheik of this said United Moor Science Temple of America? And then why are you also posing to be the Moor Science Temple of America? Why are you mixing and saying Noble Drew Ali is the founder of your temple, United Moor Science Temple of America, when Noble Drew Ali didn't create that? He's not the founder of that. Cozmo, Mr. Nathaniel, and it's not just him. He got several people in on this scam, this fraud, these lies, the falsehood. Anthony Brooks Aliel, National Chairman. Curtis Douglas, Assistant National Grand Sheik. Sis Emily Nader Bey, National Secretary. Brother King Bey, National Treasurer. They have a National Chief Mufti, Earl Duffy, and Kamali as a National Assistant Chief Mufti. Wow. Interesting. But Noble Drew Ali didn't create this United Moor Science Temple of America. Let's go to FAQ, frequently asked questions. Can everybody see that? How do I proclaim my nationality? Email us, and their answer is email us, and we will direct you to a Moor Science Temple that is carrying out the laws as laid down by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Question. Why does someone have to email you for you to direct them to a Moor Science Temple? Why couldn't you just simply give the addresses or the contacts for Moor Science Temples or a Moor Science Temple finder? Why are you gatekeeping the access to the Moor Science Temples? Furthermore, you're a temple yourself. Why aren't you carrying out the laws as laid down by Noble Drew Ali? You call yourself the United Moor Science Temple of America. I mean, it's a perversion and it's a spinoff and it's a falsehood, but why aren't you? helping people proclaim the nationality? What is the purpose of your temple? Is it to solicit donations and scam people selling Noble Drew Ali's literature for your own personal profit and gain? Questions we need answers to. I'm gonna hold off right there. Hold off right there. Because there's a video that I wanted to pull up. There's a video I wanted to pull up. Let me. And if you have any questions, or if Cozmo, Mr. Nathaniel shows up, please. The link is pinned up there. Or any of the supporters, please. Feel free. Yeah, I wanted to come on over because there's some videos, and I have, the truth of the matter is I got so much evidence of the lies, but I honestly don't feel like going through everything because I feel like it's just a waste. But we're going to check out this right here. We're going to come back to that question and the answer that Cozmo Nathaniel, his temple gave. Well, let's get a little background on Mr. Nathaniel.
And we talked for a long time, and then we set plans for him to come down and build, and that's kind of how I got introduced to Moorish science. When he came and he built back then, you know, we had a program. It was like you went to the science circle and you had to memorize at least 7 lessons before you could officially join, you know. And I memorized my lessons, and I sat with the Moors, and eventually I went on ahead and proclaimed my nationality.
Okay.
Just for context, he's speaking about when he was a teenager. So he's been doing this for quite some time. He knew, he went through, apparently went through the process of how to proclaim the nationality. So why not just explain it? Why not make it simple and plain for the people? Why, hey, you need to contact us and then we'll send you to a temple. Let's continue.
Okay. And what temple was that back then? And what year was that? What year was that?
So this was 1992. I took Shahada and
great questions.
Proclaimed my nationality at an early age. In fact, I founded at 16 the Moorish Chess Club at Long Beach Polytechnic High School as the only high school Moorish organization that I know of that was founded. So I was really into it. The temple was temple number 43, and it was a temple, but it was also what we called a science circle back then, which was like a preliminary to the temple. And
there we go. He was a part of a quote-unquote science circle that was a preliminary to the temple. Question, chat. Question, good people. Did Noble Drew Ali create this quote-unquote science circle where you had to go through some preliminary stages to be a member of the temple? Just a simple question. Did Noble Drew Ali create that? Or was that something that him and these folks created? Temple number 43. Let's listen carefully. We're going to come back to that. This is pointing out the dishonesty in this person.
And so it was Temple 43, not to be confused with any other Temple 43. This was Temple 43 in Los Angeles at the time in 1991. And so that's who I was rotating with, and pretty much rotated with that temple for years, and I'm still connected with the Grand Sheikh there.
He said he's still connected with the Grand Sheikh there. Where is there? Temple number 43 in Los Angeles. This is what he said. Okay. Pull this up. And I appreciate that brother that was the host, man, because he asked some great questions, some very objective questions. And mind you, this interview that we're watching, slow down. What this interview we're watching was from 2 months ago. So this is a recent interview in which he said, I'm still connected with the Grand Sheik there. Where is there? Temple number 43. Again, this is Cozmo, aka Nathaniel Boothel of the alleged United Moor Science Temple of America, which is not the temple that Noble Drew Ali created, but it's the temple that Cozmo is claiming that Noble Drew Ali created. And he said he still rotates and is connected with the Grand Sheik over there. And where is there? Moor Science Temple of America, number 43 in Los Angeles, not to be confused with any other temple. Now, Cosmo said he's still connected with the Grand Sheik of Moor Science Temple of America, number 43. But it's permanently closed. He said of the Grand Sheik there being the temple. So how are you connected to this said temple if it's already closed? Well, maybe it was just closed, Rami. Maybe it just happened. It's recent. That interview was 2 months ago. Maybe it just happened. Moor Science Temple of America, number 43, Los Angeles, not to be confused with any other Moor Science Temple of America. Let me zoom in. Oh, I don't want to put that baby on the screen. Apologize. Boom. August 5th, 2018. So the last post on their Facebook was 7 years ago. Man, you're still connected to the Grand Sheik there? Oh, well, Rami, they don't be updating their Facebook. That's what it is, Rami. They got the website. Yeah. mstalosangeles.org. You're right. Rami. I didn't, you know what I mean? I should have just clicked that. So now what? Was he mistaken? No, he didn't misspeak. He's a liar. He's dishonest. He's a scammer. He's a con man. This is what's going on with this organization, unfortunately. You have too many people that are lying, proclaiming themselves to be things like National Grand Sheik, and they're not qualified, not verified or certified or validated or accredited or approved in any way. These people are liars. And it's unfortunate, but it is the reality. And we got to deal with it. Let me pull up, because I have about, this is like 40 different clips that I could show. Let's see. Let me pull up some evidence. Let's talk about the grand body. Let me find that clip. Oh, no. We'll go to this one. How many temples? Because that's a great question. And I appreciated the guest that asked this question. We'll come back to that clip a little bit later. Straightforward question. 34-minute mark. How many temples? Now, mind you, Mr. Cosmo Nathaniel L. is claiming to be a national grand sheik. So in that position, you would have information about what's going on with the nation, right? That makes sense. Yes. The leader of the organization, you should have a good idea. I mean, a very minimal level, knowing how many temples, right? That seems like a legitimate question. Let's see what he has to say. Oh, well, I got to unmute it first.
The grand sheiks and the body to not just be caught up in the position, but to be worried about the welfare. If you I could go to another lesson in here, and I'm not gonna, but magistrate and subject is in the there's a lesson in the Circle 7 known as magistrate and subject, and it outlines how a magistrate or how someone in a position of being able to give rulings, what they should do, and how they should do it, and the spirit in which they should do it, and how they should not admire the title as much as they should what the title can do for society.
Indeed.
Absolutely, Swindle. We're gonna get back to that.
Hold on. Got to do that right there. Drop
No,
a
you
bomb.
ain't had to drop
So
no bomb on that.
there's a question
Let's
here.
listen.
We got the brother AB the Light, Ben Bay. How many temples do we have across the states?
I don't know the exact number. There.
Mr. Cozmo, Mr. Nathaniel. Okay, let me break this down to you. If I was going for an interview and I was the CEO of a fez making business, and we had several locations throughout the nation, I'm the national representative, and I'm going on a public interview. If someone asked me, hey, how many locations do you have for, where we can pick up the pheasants? Oh, currently we have 17 locations in these different markets. We're looking to expand. We have approximately such and such locations. As of 2026, we will have 30 locations in America and even 5 overseas. Just some basic level understanding you should have. You are claiming to be the national grand sheik, Nathaniel, and you don't know how many temples there are in the nation? How can you be a national grand sheik and not know that? How? You can't. And it's not just my opinion. This is the beautiful thing. Noble Drew Ali created the organization in such a way that you have to be notified when there is a new temple. Everyone gets notified. We'll get to what that everyone is. We're going to get there, so just walk with me. But there's structure in place, or there should be structure in place, or there is structure in place for the Moor Science Temple of America. But Cozmo, Mr. Nathaniel, he created this spin-off, offshoot, corrupt organization named United Moor Science Temple of America, falsely using some of Noble Drew Ali's teachings and lessons and titles, such as Grand Sheik, to give the impression that he is legitimate, that he's doing, I'm doing work across the nation. I'm helping, I'm inspired, and I'm doing the work that Noble Drew Ali did. But he's not. He's a lie. Scam. And I'm here. They're not here yet, but hopefully they show up.
Temples forming all the time. What I would say is that there's 4 major, say, grand bodies. If I were to calculate, you have maybe about 25 temples under one, maybe 15 under another, maybe another 15. So I mean, you have over 100 temples. However, the Prophet Noble Jew Ali, before he passed, had only set aside 15 temples at the time where he wrote the Moorish leaders.
It's so much lying that it's disgusting. First, he said there are about 4 major grand bodies. Then he's trying to state that Noble Drew Ali only set aside this certain amount of temples. He's going to continue to make this idea, make this complete belief. This didn't come from Noble Drew Ali, but you'll hear him say it, that in order for you to basically be legitimate or to have a temple now, you have to be connected through the genealogy of one of those 15 temples. Well, let's play it and then we'll get to it. Remember, I'm going to rewind. The 4 grand bodies, the major grand bodies. Let's remember that.
Grand bodies. If I were to calculate, you have maybe about 25 temples.
Yeah, drop a bomb. All right. So there's a question here. We got the brother AB the Light, Ben Bay. How many temples do we have across the states?
I don't know the exact number. There are temples forming all the time. What I would say is that there's 4 major, say, grand bodies. If I were to calculate, you have maybe about 25 temples under one, maybe 15 under another, maybe another 15. So, I mean, you have over 100 temples. However, the Prophet Noble Jew Ali, before he passed, had only set aside 15 temples at the time where he wrote the Moorish leaders' historic message to America. So it's important that all of the temples that form are traced back and have a genealogy to the temples that are set aside by the Prophet Noble Jew Ali, and or in these days and times, grand sheiks that may have may not necessarily be with those temples, but may have come out of those temples and have formed their covenant under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, whether that be due to.
Just to be clear, Noble Drew Ali never said none of that. He didn't only set aside 15 temples. There just were only 15 temples at that time. He didn't say the limit is 15. I'm only setting aside these many. But this is the impression that he's given. And it's not because he's ignorant and doesn't know. No, it's intentional. Because now he's trying to give you that idea that there were only this many. And so if you want to be a temple, you have to connect to the lineage or somebody that was in that temple. Another way to gatekeep, to control. See, we know. See, we have the genealogy. You guys don't know because you're not connected to the line. Man, get that. Let me calm down.
To discrepancies of how things were being ran, or however that formed, they have the opportunity to form government and incorporate into the Moorish Science Temple of America under Chapter 47, Key 12. But they have to have a genealogy.
Okay, so 4 grand bodies. Correct.
Roughly, because you have the grand body that came out of the the Gibbons Ill. I'm
gonna let him continue, but I just want to let you know right now, he's talking complete nonsense. There's only one Moorish Science Temple of America. There are branch temples or subordinate temples organized underneath the one temple. It's one organization, one major temple, subordinate or branch temples that connect to that main temple. But that's it. It's not and there's not a bunch of grand bodies. There's one grand body. In fact, Noble Drew Ali never refers to the grand body in the plural sense. It doesn't. I've never seen it say grand bodies, just the grand body. But we'll get to that. I'm just highlighting this because Cozmo, aka Mr. Nathaniel, is claiming to be a national grand sheik. And if you're claiming to be a national grand sheik, you would have to understand how the organization works. So for him to say that there are 4 grand bodies, it lets you know either he's completely ignorant, has no idea what he's talking about whatsoever, or he's intentionally lying and trying to deceive you, because you cannot make a mistake like this. This isn't a slip up of the tongue. This is now why I appreciate the brother. He reiterated. So there's how many grand bodies? Then he gets with the BS. And if you don't know any better, if you're a Moor or a Moorish American that's just coming into this information, and you see somebody like Cozmo, and then you see, oh wow, he's getting an award at something, and he's being honored, and there's people in the chat that are co-signing him, then you start to believe, well, maybe he's telling the truth, but he's not. He's a liar. Well, why aren't other Moors saying this? I don't know. I ain't other Moors. Let's continue.
Grand body, and then you have the grand body that was under Braswell Bay now, Temple number 1. Then you have the Emiliil grand body, and you've had other variations from there. The Ink, R. Jones Bay. These are, in a sense,
Harbor Freight Tool.
fractures or divisions within the movement. But again, the Prophet allowed for that. So, it's not for me to come.
Noble Drew Ali did not allow. Let me rewind that just to make sure I heard what he said correctly. This is the foolishness. So you can see it right there. 4 grand bodies. Ridiculous. Ain't no 4 grand bodies, bro.
And you've had other variations from there. The Ink, R. Jones Bay. These are, in a sense, fractures or divisions within the movement. But again, the Prophet allowed for that. So, it's not for me to come and say, hey, you're doing this or you're doing that.
This character just said Noble Drew Ali allowed for there to be divisions and break, but then is in the same breath claiming to be the national grand sheik of the quote unquote United Moorish Science Temple of America. But Noble Drew Ali, who created the Moorish Science Temple of America, he was okay with division. Kind of fool are you, man?
Only thing I look at is, are you tracing what your actions and what you're doing back to the Prophet? There are a lot of people who are fighting over the divisions of which one is the original temple and which one can be traced back. But this is a very important thing I like to tell them.
Pardon me. I didn't realize I was on mute. Real quick before I get back to the clips, this is Moorish literature. These are a collection of documents from Noble Drew Ali when he was alive. There's more about the administration and how the temple is supposed to function. And you heard Mr. Nathaniel claim that there was 4 different grand bodies. So I wanted to highlight the times that Noble Drew Ali referenced grand body, just to see if you guys can see him say it in plural. Okay, the head of every temple must obey the law. By law, obey the word of the prophet. They fail to obey these laws. Embezzlement is the charge and subject to enforcement of the law by the grand body. Here again, a warning from the prophet. The law will be enforced again by the great grand body. Okay. Can we zoom out? Okay. The heads of all temples are to give an account once a month of all finances into the grand body. Okay. Do we understand? This is how in functioning. You're talking about there's a report that's supposed to be sent in every month. This is a glimpse of it. The heads of all temples, which would be a grand sheik, are to give an account once a month of all finances into the grand body. And the grand sheik, grand sheikess, governor, and grand governor of any said temple are to work hand in hand and intercede that the prophet is the law. That's hinting at what the grand body, or who the grand body is, or how the grand body is made up. But let's continue because it's clear and I'll make sure we see it. Again, another reference to grand body, not plural, singular, enforcement of the law by the grand body. Going on back down. Here we go. When any temple desires to purchase property, they must first notify the grand body or the prophet, and it must be purchased under the name Moor Science Temple of America or Noble Drew Ali. It doesn't say it should be purchased by the United States. The United Moor Science Temple. No. But that's what he's doing. Because he's embezzler. He's a fraud. And he being Mr. Nathaniel. Another one. Here we go. If someone is not doing right, the traders must be excluded from the books after having a fair trial, and that must be sent into the grand body. Singular again. Another reference. Grand body. Here we go. This is what I was waiting on. To all governors, grand sheiks, and head officials of the temple. This would include so-called national grand sheiks, Mr. Nathaniel. During this convention period, Prophet Noble Drew Ali said on the 17th of October, oops. Oh, shoot. I shouldn't try to click that. Can we see that? Of the 17th of October, that he was going to appoint 7 men tried and true, accepted by you. And on the very next day, I'm not going to correct the mistake, but Noble Drew Ali stepped forward from the chamber and declared that he now had his number and said that the grand body had accepted his choice in the setting of the Supreme Grand Council of the Moor Science Temple of America. And Prophet Noble Drew Ali also declared what their duties in conjunction with that of the grand body, which consist of all executive rulers. Okay? Why is this important, Rami? Why'd you go through all of this? Simple, really. One, this is what Noble Drew Ali established in regards to the Moor Science Temple of America and how it functioned, the organization, how it's created, how it's established. There isn't multiple grand bodies. There isn't multiple Moor Science Temple of Americas. All of those spin-off organizations are frauds, liars, scammers, con men. Do not trust them. Do not support them. That includes the United Moor Science Temple of America. and Cozmo or Nathaniel or whatever he wants to call himself. Do not trust people like this. Also, because he doesn't know how the Moor Science Temple of America is ran. And yet he's claiming to be a national grand sheik. You can't be that ignorant and try to claim that you are the national head figure of an organization. You can't do it. Leaves me with the idea that, he's intentionally lying, misleading people to try and justify his falsehood and his made-up temple. The other part of me reading that is because I brought up the Supreme Grand Council almost 10 years ago and realized that that is like the board of directors. And because we don't have that in place and we don't know who those members are, that is what causes so much dysfunction and lies and scams and fraud with the Moor Science Temple of America. And Cozmo, Mr. Nathaniel, knows that. He tried to dismiss the Supreme Grand Council. He knows that. He knows that I know that. He knows that he can't stand up and speak on this. He knows it. And so do all his little cronies. Y'all know it too. Yes. Let me get back to it. Let's get back to the clips. Because there's some more evidence of him proving himself to be a liar. I think I've done enough with the studying. Was this the clip? Yeah, this was it, I think. Yeah. Let's see about this one. And the link is still pinned, Mr. Nathaniel, or your cronies.
Question, and it's not a, it's not that deep of a question to ask. It's not a personal question. It's a question like, okay, what do I do next? I'm a member now. My goal is to become an adept. What do I do next?
All right.
Okay, the Moors would tell me, all right, for an example, I mean, just to give you an example, a Moor would say, well, you got to come to the temple. Come to the temple. That is not the answer I'm looking for, right? So I'm looking for,
You know why he laughing and smiling like that? Because he realized, dang, this dude calling me out. This dude calling me out. That's the answer he would give. Remember? How do I proclaim my nationality? Well, email us. First, you got to come to, ours. You got to contact us, and then we'll put you up with a temple, and then they'll, lay it out. Why don't you just say, this is the steps to proclaiming your nationality? Go to the temple. Here's the nationality form. You fill it out. You submit it. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever the process is. The truth is that Cozmo and many of these people that claim to be grand sheiks or claim to have this more science knowledge, they don't know. And they can't just admit, I don't know. Because then you will start to realize, like, man, who are y'all? You don't belong. Watch out. You know what I mean? Like, like Young Thug. Man, watch out. Watch out, man. Get out the way. Let's hear some more of this answer, though. What's next?
I'm looking for, okay, for me, coming from like a martial arts background, okay, you come into this martial arts, this is what you need to do to get this rank. These are the steps you need to take. Is all laid out for you to understand what you're getting into. The same thing with school. When you go into school, Everything is laid out for you to understand. So, you know, when a person is vetted, and let's say I come into your temple, okay, my goal is to become an adept, right? What's next?
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you
They keep hitting me with the commercials right after a good question. I appreciate this brother, man. Now, granted, he got, you know, some frauds to be up on there giving him a bunch of lies and nonsense, but I really appreciate that brother's questions because it's logical. It's the questions that I would ask. Man, what is the process of opening a temple? How do you open a temple? Because it ain't no temples out here where I, you know, when I was out here in the Bay Area, I'm like, man, I'm trying to get active. What's the process? And everybody like, oh, well, you got to call this temple and then you got to, you know, talk to this brother right here. And then, you know, once he feels like you're good, then he'll, man, watch out. You know what I mean? Watch out, dog. I appreciate bro with the questions. Hold on, man. Hold on. Let me rewind it just so we can get the question on. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Here we go.
Out for you to understand what you're getting into. The same thing with school. When you're going to school, everything is laid out for you to understand. So, you know, when a person is vetted, and let's say I come into your temple, okay, my goal is to become an adept, right? What's next?
Islam. So there's a curriculum. You have to memorize. And again, there's different customs and usages from different temples. There is some universal.
He ain't asking about different customs or what other temples is doing. He asked you, brother. And when I come to your temple, what's the process? He get and let me let him talk. Let me let him talk. You see for yourself.
Universal underlining things that are all going to be the same. But you have to be able to, number one, internalize your lessons, certain lessons. For example, you should know your constitution and bylaws. You should know your nationality card. You should know all your tools. You should know various lessons that are given to adepts in order for them to study, and there's tests to be passed. Of course, when people say come to the temple, that is the first step. It's just like in martial arts. You have to come to the dojo. If you're not at the dojo, unless you have a personal trainer, then you're not going to learn the science. Even if you have a personal trainer, you're not going to be a part of the dojo or the confederation.
Right.
And so the first step is definitely coming to the temple and being a faithful member, you know, paying your dues, keeping in line with the necessities of the Moor Science Temple.
You heard him slip that in. See it in the comment. You can't get away from them, man. These scammers, man. Mr. Nathaniel. You heard him slipping in. You got to be a faithful member, pay your dues now. You got to pay now. We need a little of that chili before we get to. You got to pay before we make the way. Man, shout out, baby Spot. Come on, man. Come on, man. They want you to pay a little money, man. He still ain't made it clear on what it really is. He just throwing out stuff. Did he get that? You have to memorize certain lessons. Did Noble Drew Ali said this is the standard? That's the question. To be an adept, because this is the terminology and this is the organization that Noble Drew Ali created. So did Noble Drew Ali create the standard? If so, no problem. Can I see where this is written at? Mr. Nathaniel? That's where we get in the problems. We get to them problems.
Of America, keeping your hearts and minds pure with love and your bodies clean with water. Act 3, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced. no members to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion that may cause harm to his or brother or sister. So you want to be demonstrating the principles. It's not a scholastic thing. And this is
for. Do you even know what you're saying? Watch out, man. I think I'm so frustrated because it's just like, man, these people just lie and they lie. And I know that it's people that come into this and they're like, man, I ain't dealing with this nonsense. Too many liars. Everybody, they just trying to scam just like, you know, such and such is. Or they trying to scam like such and such. Man, I'm done with all that. Because they're not being honest. You know? They're not being honest. That's the reality. Man, I'm about to go ahead and finish up, man. 1 hour, 15-minute mark. Let's see what's going on here. It's a little group chat. Let's see. Let's see what they. Oh, yeah. I remember this question. Dang, come on, commercials. I know. You just get the YouTube Premium, Rami. I know. Let's see. Let me zoom in here. Let me just run it back just a little. Then share this screen. Come on, man. Come on, Abdul. You want to come talk to me in person, Abdul? I answer that question. You come on the screen, talk to me, man. Otherwise, I'm going to stick to this. Calling out this lie.
It's long. Can you see that? Can you see that question?
Let's see. I can partially see it because it says, maybe you can. I can see part of it. If silence is acquiescence, then why? I can't see the rest of it.
Say why isn't
if silence is acquiescent, why isn't the major leadership? Why isn't the major leadership more active and not passive? What did the prophet say about putting new wine in the old skin?
Say that one more time, brother.
It says, if silence is acquiescent, why isn't the major leadership more active and not passive? What did the prophet say about putting new wine in the old skin?
Islam. Well, I mean, first of all, who's the major leadership? I mean, if you're talking.
Hold on, bro. I know you just didn't ask who is the major leadership, Mr. National Grand Sheik. I know you just didn't ask that. How are you the National Grand Sheik and you don't know the quote-unquote major leadership? What kind of National Grand Sheik are you? Legitimate question. No? Some simple information that you, never mind actually addressing the question. You didn't expose even more your ignorance. You don't know who the major leadership is? And what would the major leadership be considered? I have a term that we could use. Supreme Grand Council. But Mr. Nathaniel doesn't want to address that, does he? That's why him and none of his cronies pulled up. They don't want to discuss this for real. No way. Let's go on over to this one. A little bit before in the conversation. Well, it says something about accountability. You know, I'm down for accountability. Let's share this one.
And it affects, most importantly, their families.
Oh, I remember one.
You said it right. You said it right.
Praise Allah.
And I'm pretty sure everybody in our chat or everybody that's just looking in will agree with everything you saying. Now the
You'd be
question
surprised,
is,
brother.
yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now the question is, and to the audience and to the chat, you know, are we going to be mature enough to put these differences aside? Because I'm pretty sure I know a little bit of the history going back and doing some reading, but at the same time, it has nothing to do with me. What are we going to do to move this thing forward? Are we going to continue to bicker, or are we going to be mature enough and put our big boy pants on and go handle business? Because the world is waiting.
Good question. I appreciate the question. Let's hear the response.
Islam.
The world is waiting.
Islam. Yes, indeed. You know, again, it goes back to the national character. It goes back to the teachings of our higher self and our lower self, really embracing and embodying these teachings, which come from Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Some people not following Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Some people are following other leaders, and that's fine. If that's what you're going to do, you know, you're entitled to do that. And yes, our brothers definitely need to be brought.
Here's the thing. People are absolutely entitled to do whatever they want to do. But you can't, as a national grand sheik, try and tell the people that, yeah, you can be a part of the Moor Science Temple of America, but you don't have to follow the teachings and the instructions of the person that created the organization. What are you talking about? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Somebody help me make sense of this. That's ridiculous. Cozmo thinks being born in China makes you Chinese. Hold on. Maybe I had that incorrect. We're going to just go off of this video. Let's go to this one. It's so much ridiculousness. I cannot believe this, man. Back to this. And then it's one where he even tries to, like, in a slick way, associate Noble Drew Ali with sovereignty.
Things, you know, that are going on as well, business, so on and so forth, at that meetings. But Sunday school is where we really unfold the 101 questions, and there's a lot of civics in that as well. You know, there's a lot of civics in that as well, because number one, like take for example something as simple as, why are we Moorish Americans? Because we are descendants of Moroccans and born in America is the answer. And so in that you have two extremely important concepts that relate to citizenship and status. You have something known as jus sanguinis, which is nationality and identity conferred from the bloodline.
This is where he started mixing in. This is some of that Taj Street Bay Moor sovereign citizen nonsense. This right here, this where he mixing this in. Because Noble Drew Ali never said none of this, mind you.
Right, because we're descendants of Moroccans. And then you have Jus Sali, which is related to the soil. Sali meaning soil, meaning where you're born. We're American because we're born in America. It's just like if you were born in China, you're going to be Chinese. But your bloodline may.
No. If you're born in China, you do not magically become Chinese, sir. That's ridiculous. You may become a Chinese citizen or a citizen of China, but that doesn't magically make you Chinese. If a Nigerian a husband and wife they conceive, and they have, she becomes pregnant, and she is 8 months pregnant, and then they go to vacation for China for a month, and then she has the baby in China. That baby is a Chinese baby. Come on, dog. This is supposed to be a national grand chic. Come on, dog. What are we talking about, man? What are we talking about? You can't be serious, dog. Yeah, here go that sovereign citizen talk. Here go that sovereign citizen talk, man. And you know why it doesn't surprise me? This is why it don't surprise me. Once I found this video about the sovereign citizen talk, I was like, okay, well, yeah, I got to show this on the video. That's number one. But I'm like, it makes sense. It makes sense because you see it. This is Mr. Cozmo, Mr. Nathaniel, and his scamming buddies of here. Oh, birds of a feather, they flock together. Oh, you see, they all connected. Cosmo is down with Sabir, down with Taj Tariq, and they all doing the scam. Disgusting. But this is the reality, unfortunately. But it's okay. It's okay. Truth gonna set you free. You know what I mean? Truth gonna set you free now. Truth gonna set you free now. Who we got? We got connected with this. And what do you know? Another one. Is it 49-minute mark? Yeah, 49 minutes. That's what it say. 49 minutes. And who do we have? Yet another scammer connected. Oh, I appreciate the questions. I'll get to them in a second. I love that. I love this one right here. I love this one right here. Shout out to you. The shout out to you. You this is the classic deflection. You know what I mean? Quick. Rami exposing us. Try to shift the focus. Ooh, what about you? What are you doing? Man, watch out. Who do we have? Abdullah Alib Mosey Bey, another Moor sovereign citizen, been scamming for decades, pushing this knowledge of the law. Let me go ahead and hit play on this real quick.
More science temples, and I think that's very good. I think that's a great idea to actually form coalitions, affiliations, so that you're not by yourself, and that actually have opportunity because there's strength in numbers. Continue with that. Now, looking at national consciousness, how do you see our people moving forward in the international arena?
Islam. So that brings me to the word sovereignty, and which is used a lot in the movement. And I'm not sure if Moors know. I'm sure some Moors do know, but there are a few different types of sovereignty. We talked about one, which was self-sovereignty, individual sovereignty. There's also negative sovereignty and positive sovereignty. And so negative sovereignty
Let me establish some things. Chat, where you at, chat? Need you, chat. Chat, come on now. Talk to me, chat. Did Noble Drew Ali ever use the term positive sovereignty? Yes or no? Did Noble Drew Ali ever use the term negative sovereignty? Yes or no? Has Noble Drew Ali ever used the term Moorish sovereignty? Talk to me, chat. Just send me the link. Send me the paragraph. What's the page number in the Quran where he mentions, yeah, Moors, you're sovereign. I just need the quote. I just need the quote. Where did Noble Drew Ali say that? Come on, Mr. Nathaniel. Come on, Mr. Sovereign Citizen Moore. Mr. Nathaniel. Paging, Mr. Nathaniel, where are you? Where's the knowledge? Where's the more science? Answer. Noble Drew Ali never said more sovereignty, positive sovereignty, negative sovereignty. Moors are sovereign. Moors should fight for sovereignty. Nothing like that. Anybody using that kind of terminology, like Cozmo, like Abdullah, like Sabir, like Taj Tariq Bey, like Enforce the Constitution guy, like Tajiri Bey, all of these people are scammers. They're liars, frauds. Are we clear? Are we clear? Islam? Let me continue.
And I took some notes here, is basically international recognition. The state is as independent, but lacks the power to exercise will in its own territory. It's de jure, but in the capacity of self-governance and effective state functions, such as providing services to its people, is lacking. And so a lot of Moors, well, I won't say a lot, but some Moors focus on sovereignty from a negative sovereignty perspective. They file a lot of paperwork, they send it international, they're looking for international recognition. But at the same time, they're not, it might just be them or a couple of other people. You know, they haven't built an effective group or effective network to be able to provide services for their people and to promote the well-being of their people. Whereas positive sovereignty includes being able to provide services, promoting the well-being, being able to effectively provide essential needs, and also being able to demonstrate its own international goals with non-interference of foreign powers. So I think that
I think that you're making up all this nonsense as you go, and you don't know what the you're talking about, Nathaniel. And you should stop. You should stop while you're behind. But you're not. And neither is Mr. Abdullah. But it's funny about that. I just remembered I took some notes. I gotta try to see if I can pull up my notes on this. I totally forgot. I took a whole little thing of notes, man. You know what I mean? Just like highlighting some of the nonsense. And I'm just like, oh, that's right. I forgot to address the whys. You know what I mean? With the video. Well, why are you doing this, Rami? Well, because Cozmo is intentionally lying. He's causing harm to Moorish Americans in the Moorish Science Temple of America by intentionally misusing the teachings of Noble Drew Ali and fraudulently misrepresenting himself as a Grand Sheikh, National Grand Sheikh. This has created confusion about the Moorish Science Temple of America amongst Moors and American citizens alike. So that's why I'm doing this. Additionally, let me put me up. Let me put me up on the screen. Additionally, okay, and this is part of the issue, is that I work with this dude because I saw he came up to the Bay Area out of nowhere. But at this time, I was really naive. I'm like, oh man, finally, some Moors want to work. Let's work. Let's start collaborating. And then I'm like, man, Noble Drew Ali didn't say we need to do that. And why are you talking about Masonic stuff? That's kind of weird. And you selling stuff, but what about the temple? And what about this? And you know what? I'm going to fall back. But the problem was I never said publicly, I'm not associating with this dude anymore because of this, that, and the third, because I wasn't trying to ruffle no feathers. The accountability for me is I still was in public with him. At one time, I was co-signing him. So if I don't come and help clean that up, I can help mislead people. So I got to own that. Same with Taj Tariq Bey. I was teaching with him back in 2013. And then I realized, oh man, this stuff is bogus. Oh man, he's the root to a lot of this stuff. Now, I can't say, yeah, this is a lie and this is a lie, and not be accountable and say, yeah, I was working with this dude, and then I discovered it's incorrect. And I told him, this is incorrect. Don't follow that. It's incorrect. Stick to Noble Drew Ali. If I don't do that, then who am I? Yeah, I'm a dirty Moor. I'm misleading people. It's okay to make mistakes, but we got to make corrections. I believe it says something about that in the Quran Circle 7. But we're not going to get there. We're going to get back to the exposing of this dirty Moor. And agreed, Mr. Swindle Hoodwink, Noble Drew Ali never, I repeat, never mentioned the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. Okay? But let me continue.
Where we're at right now is a lot of people are seeking the negative sovereignty. And they think, oh, look, I'm recognized by the United Nations, or oh, look, I'm recognized by this other country over here, or this other country, or look, I'm recognized by the Moroccan Empire, or everything is pointed outwards. And yeah, you do have legal documents and lawful documents, and these things are fine. But in order for us to be a true sovereign people, because individuals are not sovereign in the legal sense, except from an individual perspective, unless they're a matriarch or a patriarch or something like that, and they actually have a kingdom. But yet they still wouldn't be sovereign without the people
Just
who
a bunch of
made
nonsense
them
you're talking.
sovereign.
I'm gonna let him keep going.
I think that a lot of emphasis has been put on legal documents and reaching out abroad to see who we can get to recognize us. But as we were talking about earlier, we need what we've been trying to focus on in the United, and even just with brothers that I rotate and deal with, is being able to provide the services, being able to provide the essential needs, being able to not only have the body politic on paper that definitely creates a
Body politic. Tell me this: did Noble Drew Ali ever use the term body politic? Did Noble Drew Ali ever use the term body politic? Come on, talk to me, chat. Show me the evidence. Just source it. Where he say that at? He ain't say nothing like that. It's more the lies.
a sovereign entity. And
what about sovereign entity? Did Noble Drew Ali ever speak about us being a sovereign entity?
But also being able to provide all the other things that come with sovereignty, like food sovereignty, energy sovereignty, religious sovereignty, of course, political sovereignty, and self-sovereignty.
Did Noble Drew Ali ever speak about the term of religious sovereignty? Talk to me. Talk to me now. Was he ever saying this is a goal? Talk to me. Help me out.
Sovereignty. If we're not providing those things, then we're really not whole as a nation, because if we're not providing them, then somebody else is providing them. And when somebody else is providing them, that's a indication and a requirement of you being in their society. So it doesn't matter how much legal paperwork you have if you're sending your children to their institutions. It doesn't matter how much legal paperwork you have if you don't have food sovereignty, if you have to depend on the society you say you're abandoning for your food or for energy, if you don't know how to hook up your own solar and deal with power banks and other things.
All right, man. Let me just stop right there for a second. Quick question. The brother Cozmo, Mr. Nathaniel, do you have any Moorish businesses that teach any trades? Have you developed a Moorish farm that can help provide food to Moorish Americans across the nation as your national Grand Sheikh? And I mean, you admitted you've been in this since 91. Surely you've had some time to establish some things, right? National Grand Sheikh, though. Interesting. Let me see if I can fast forward on this, because there's a part that I wanted to highlight. 1:15. Nah, did I already highlight that? Going along with the sovereign citizen nonsense. That's 1:32. So we're going to skip ahead a little bit, see what they're talking about. Because it's a whole lot of nonsense, and I'm pretty much ready to get up out of here. Bam. Uh-oh. I don't even hear the volume.
Years, the native people of Hawaii have been protesting. They ascended to the United World Court in 1974. They have been protesting. They know who their last standing sovereign was. So the United States did not strip them of their knowledge of their nationality. Yes, the United States forced them into the United States legal system. Yes, the United States is subjugating them and do the acquisition of nationality through subjugation. Yes.
This person on the right, Abdullah El Talil Mosey Bey, doesn't know what he's talking about. In fact, and I wish I had put down that says 140. So it's somewhere in between 132 and 140. This brother I don't even want to say it. I want to let him say it.
The books, the outreach. That's major.
Oh, this is right. This
Hawaiians acquisition of nationality through subjugation. Hawaiians, that is major. We have lost that. That is major. I am providing. I'm explaining why I'm saying to you, Grand Sheikh, your books, your outreach, your network, what we're showing the world, we have to show the world that we are making an effort to teach our people. We need a national registry of conscious Moors. We're showing the world that we're active with the books, the outreach. That's major. Because we have a dehumanization case. We've been dehumanized. That is major. So I want you to know my thought that your books and your outreach, your network, your YouTube, your education, your lecturing is the food that our people need. Because what that does,
This fool is trying to preach to us that Mr. Nathaniel's books is the food that our people need. No, our people need actual food, not cockamamie books that he put together or books that you put together, Abdullah. It's ridiculous, man. What are we doing? This is why Moors and Moorish Americans, we looked at like a joke because of this stuff right here, man. 132, man. Let me finish up with this because I really can't listen to dude no more. I'm gonna close it out, answer some questions. We get up out of here.
Gain control over the inhabitants. And then they can what? Decide to what? Force the inhabitants into their legal system. That's what they did to us. We have to address that in the context of international law. That has not been done, not in the context of international law. We have been given false concepts. Our conscious Moors, please send me out, conscious Moors. I know what y'all been taught. I know what I taught y'all. Y'all can go to YouTube. I did 10 years ago. I know that. We've been taught that we the people of the United States. We're not. We are the people of the land. We're the people of the land. We the people of the United States, that's inferior. Why would you want to be that? We the people of the land. We the people of the United States don't have no blood right claims to the land. We the people of the United States claim to the land is to what? We the people of the United States claim to the land is to what? Treaties from the conquering powers. That's the claim. That's the claim. The United States claim over the Louisiana Territory came about how? Nice.
Sorry. This whole time, Mr. National Grand Sheik is sitting right up there while this dude babbles on about nonsense. What are you talking about? We're not we the people of the United States. We the people of the land. Did Noble Drew Ali ever teach that? So what we talking about? If that's what you want to teach Abdullah, man, take the fez off. Call yourself, I don't know, Space Mason, super black man, whatever you want to call yourself. Just don't associate yourself with Noble Drew Ali, Moors, Moorish Americans, the Moor Science Temple. So there's no confusion. Same goes for Mr. Nathaniel. Stop lying, man. I'm a speed up and close this clip, man.
I'm challenging it.
Islam. Well, I'm not of that persuasion.
You want to make the claim that we the people of the United States. That removes, hear me out, my brothers and sisters. I know what I taught for 25 years. when you make the claim that you are we the people of the United States, you are not claiming to have blood right claims to the land. You're not claiming to be the people.
Mind you, in this clip, he admits, I know what I've been teaching you for 25 years. It was wrong. So now listen to me. Yes.
Of the land.
But listen.
I explained.
Mr. Cozmo gonna try to be slick. You're gonna try to be slick. Try to backdoor Noble Drew Ali to connect him with sovereignty. Just pay attention. We're gonna get there.
To you how the term United States is used geographically in these different areas through treaties from conquering powers. We are the people of the land. We are not we the people of the United States. That's inferior. We the people of the United States, once again, does not have blood right claims to the land. Their claim is through treaty from conquering powers. I just want to set the record straight on that. Because that had gone unchallenged. Grand Sheik, that up until 6 years ago, nobody challenged that misconception. It had gone unchallenged, and I'm challenging it. I am challenging it. I'm challenging it on my dying breath. I'm challenging it.
Islam. Well, I'm not of that persuasion, but I'll tell you what I would have said in those time frames that you spoke of. I would have said that I'm in America, because the United States, though it's used in a geographical sense, when it comes to politics, it's used in a political sense, it's a government. So one can domicile on the land of America and not be in the United States of America and participate in their government. And again, this goes back to one of the things that Moors disagree with me on. And when you're dealing with the body politic established by Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and it's a religious organization, but it's also a body politic. And if you know what a body politic is, you already know. Most religious organizations are not body politics. There's a part in the United States where the actual government, where church, temples, synagogues are separate from state. So when it comes to governing and being forced into certain legal and political situations, then free exercise clause of the Constitution of the United States provides remedy for a lot of these situations. And that's because the one thing that the U.S. government, and I'm not referring to the territorial geographical application of the U.S., I'm referring to the governmental application of the U.S. The one thing that they cannot govern, the one body of laws and government that they cannot govern, is religious law. Now, I'm not talking about, I don't care what your religion is, because it doesn't specify religion. But
if the U.S. doesn't govern the religious laws, then why did Noble Drew Ali, in accordance with government policies and procedures, change the Moor Science Temple from a civic organization to a religious one? Why did he then say, hey man, go to those in City Hall, there's no law. Hey, obey the laws of the government. Hey, the Constitution, the divine Constitution, this is not to do anything to overthrow the United States government. This is not to be confused with that at all. This is not some entity that is out of the jurisdiction of the United States. This is that backdoor, more sovereign citizen nonsense. He's real slick with the words, try to slip that in. But it's not going to happen. Mr. Nathaniel, you've been caught. You're lying. You're being deceptive, trying to make it seem like you're part of the Moor Science Temple of America, but really you created your own spin-off corrupt organization labeled and modeled closely like the Moor Science Temple of America. But you don't even understand how the Moor Science Temple was ran. Obviously, why you can't run your United Moor Science Temple. Disgusting, man. Disgusting. Disgusting. What did I want to do last, man? Because I'm done. It was more footage, you know, more about, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot more that I could show, but I think what I'll highlight, let's highlight this. Mr. National Grand Sheik. Let's get him in 4K. Understanding the problem that comes with frauds like this, you know, because they do a good job of, oh man, that battery on a Lowski. Oh, he got 16%. Yeah, I might have to go get the charger. Might have to go get the charger for that. I think that's perfect, actually, because I ain't want to listen to this whole spiel, so I can let this thing play. And I want y'all to listen in close. See if you can catch the fraud and you can spot some of the telltale signs of a scammer, of a Moor scammer. Oftentimes, I'll just give you a hint. Oftentimes, they find a way to pitch their products or their merchandise or something, some services that they have for sale. So you got to pay attention. They may slip it in under the guise of a joke or, you know, different tactics, but it'll be there before long. It'll be there. It'll be there. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Mr. Nathaniel is being presented with an award. Mr. Nathaniel. Wow. The keynote speaker. Wow. That is very impressive. Let's listen. Oh, well. We need the volume. Uh-oh. Did y'all hear that? No? No. Let's see. Try to redo that. Oh. There you go. Gotta redo it.
Booth Gill, National Grand Sheik of the Moor Science Temple of America, author and jewelry artist. Some of you, I over again, greeting.
And I just want to note that he is the keynote speaker of a young, gifted, and Black entrepreneurial award.
Yes. I'm Nathaniel Booth Gill, National Grand Sheik of the Moor Science Temple of America, author and jewelry artist. Some of you have purchased some of my books and jewelry. I have a table in the back to give my shameless plug. I write books on Moorish history, language, and draw inspiration from the original founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Noble Ali, to do the great charitable uplifting work of fallen humanity. Some of you may be wondering, Moorish history, what is that? Well, Moor is the national name of our people. Before we were labeled with chattel terms in 1774 and lasted up until 1865.
I gotta stop it right there. Disgusted. I was saying to myself, you should just let the whole speech play out. But no, I'm not doing that. Let me rewind to the intro. Listen to how Mr. Nathaniel introduces himself. He has the fez on, presenting. Let's hear what he has to say.
Hello again, greetings. Yes. I am Nathaniel Booth Gill, National Grand Sheik of the Moorish Science Temple of America, author and jewelry artist. Some of you have purchased.
National Grand Sheik of the Moorish Science Temple of America. But wait a second, Mr. Nathaniel? Nathaniel, why would you lie like that, Nathaniel? We just saw you, Mr. Nathaniel. Hello? Mr. Nathaniel? You said you were the National Grand Sheik of the United Moorish Science Temple of America. So why in real life you're getting presented an award in front of people in the public, presenting yourself to the masses, that you try to call yourself the National Grand Sheik of the Moorish Science Temple of America? That's fraudulent, sir. It's fraudulent. Not okay. Not okay. And then you heard him. Let me get back to it. You heard him right to the seller. Listen.
Some of my books and jewelry. I have a table on the back to give my shameless plug.
You are the keynote speaker. And within 15 seconds of your speech, you said, hey, I got to make sure I promote my products and services. They're in the back. People know they're in the back. Why is that the priority? I'm going to save y'all some time. He goes through this speech and he talks about some stuff about business and, what he claims to have done. But I found it interesting that he didn't read what Noble Drew Ali said about business. I found it interesting that when he was quoting Noble Drew Ali about the names that was given to us during the terms of chattel slavery, he omitted what those terms were. He didn't say Negro, black, and colored. He said, and then just tried to continue on. But you represent yourself as a National Grand Sheik. Wouldn't this be the perfect opportunity to teach the people? Or do you not want to ruffle feathers? You want to get a little of that chili. You want them to buy some of your products. If you come out here, you against black, well, may not get too much support. Interesting. Pull something up, man. Pull something up. Just to highlight it. Because maybe, Rami, maybe he just misspoke. Maybe he meant to say the United Moorish Science Temple of America. Maybe that's what he meant to say. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's what he meant to say. That's what it is. It's just an honest mistake. May have been a little nervous. Mistakes happen. He misspoke. Those things happen. What is this? The receipt. Kevin S. Parker. That's interesting. I wonder what connections. Interesting. Young, Gifted, and Black Entrepreneur Awards. Okay. Nathaniel Boothell. Okay. Coming along down. Wow. Nathaniel Boothell, whose pen and artist name is Cozmo L. Joined the Moorish Science Temple, number 43, and the Moorish Science Temple of the West. No, excuse me. I apologize. Pardon self. The Moorish science empire of the West. Well, Cozmo, you ain't mentioned about this Moorish science empire. That seems pretty important, right, Mr. Cosmo, Nathaniel? Let's talk to the people. Share with us about this Moorish science empire of the West that you joined. We'd love to hear about it. Because I never heard Noble Drew Ali speak of this Moorish science empire of the West. Is there a Moorish science empire of the East? Or the South, of the North by chance? Mr. Nathaniel? I mean, we already saw, the Moorish Science Temple of America original temple, number 43. And we saw where that led. It was permanently closed. He founded the Moorish Chess Club. In college, he was invited to become a member of Alpha Mu Gamma, the largest collegiate language society in the United States. That's interesting. The society Mr. Cosmo is a part of. Just for giggles. Let's take a look at the society. Alpha Mu Gamma, National Collegiate Foreign Language Honor Society. Pretty cool. Who are we? Wow. Established in 1931, Los Angeles City College. Okay. I think maybe Cosmo went to City College. Okay. A council. A constitution. Wow. Information, history, membership, establishing a chapter. Wow, the organization you're a part of, if you want to establish a chapter, they have it for you. Look at this. Wow. Right there, the information is for you. New chapter application. The fee has been waived, so there's no fee to begin a chapter. Wow. Look at the organization. It's amazing. I like this place. Council, let's look at that. Wow. National Executive Council. They have the information of the people who's on the council, their address, contact information, photos, what departments they're at. Wow. Vice presidents. It's really organized. Regions. Amazing. Now you might be asking yourself, well, Rami, what's the point of you sharing that? What does that have to do with anything? Remember when we looked at the website? His website, prophetnobledrali.org. Let's bring it back up. I don't see the same kind of organization and clarity. Contact us. Okay, let's contact us. Okay. Okay. National Grand Sheik, but he's in Hawaii. Okay. Oh, wow. So it looks like they are trying to model it. Wow. Okay, but it just has one email, info@nobledrew.ali. No more information. Oh, a brief bio. Oh, this is the same thing that we saw on the... Okay, so this isn't any clear information on how to contact them. Do they have a phone number? Email for any of these people? No? There's no way to get more information. Where are they from? No? Brief bio? Just the email, huh? No phone number to send a message? Not as straightforward as this organization you're a part of. This council here, real clear. You know what else should have a council, by the way? The Moorish Science Temple of America. You know what kind of council they should have? A Supreme Grand Council. And if we had a Supreme Grand Council that was laid out even similar to this, I mean, we would have much more clarity on who to contact. Right? No? Am I just tripping? Let's go back to the New York Senate thing. Let's take a look. In this temple, he learned ecclesiastical-like law. That is interesting. Established businesses. Then he had joined a Moor Science Temple number 101. And was appointed to a Grand Sheik position. Interesting names. Interesting names. As the Unity movement grew in California, Nathaniel Booth helped to establish a Grand Temple under the name Grand Temple Khalifa. So, first he was at Temple number 43, which is permanently closed. Then he joined number 101, became a Grand Sheik, then established a Grand Temple under the name Grand Temple Khalifa, and then served as a chairman of the Khalifa Grand Council. What does that have to do with Noble Drew Ali? Did Noble Drew Ali create a Grand Temple Khalifa or the Khalifa Grand Council? Is that connected to the Moor Science Temple of America? The answer is no. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, this is part of the scam, part of the lies, part of the con. That Grand Temple Khalifa, the Khalifa Grand Council, as it goes a little bit further, he currently serves as the National Grand Sheik of the Moor Science Temple of America, a charity temple. But you see here listed, and now mind you, let me zoom out so we understand what this document is for. This is in the New York Senate, honoring, quote unquote, Nathaniel Boothell by a senator. And then we come back down and we look at what it says. Let me zoom in again. He currently serves as the National Grand Sheik of the Moor Science Temple of America, a charity temple. How come it doesn't say the United Moor Science Temple of America? Because that's the charity temple that he created. It doesn't say that. It says the Moor Science Temple of America, then calls it a charity temple. But the Moor Science Temple of America is a religious organization. So what you doing, Cozmo? Who you scamming? What kind of okie doke you trying to pull, man? Law's watching you, man. You may slick some of the people you around. You may slick some of the people watching. But at some point, gonna have to pay up, man. God is watching. Not me. Not me. That is not my jurisdiction. That is not my responsibility. Let me go ahead and finish up. I see some questions. Oh, Ray Davis. Rami, get the hate out your heart. Come on, Ray Davis. Talk to me, Ray Davis. How am I hating? Me telling the truth, is that hating? Talk to me. Talk to me before I get out of here. I'm going to go back, scroll up to the top and check it out. But before I get up out of here. Ezra Brain Trust Association. What in the doohickey does this have to do with the Moor Science Temple of America, Rami? I'm glad you asked. Let's scroll on down. Okay. Eddie Long Mindy, Executive Director. Okay. Whoa. Who is this? In November 2023, our co-founder, Shahid Ali El, participated in the 8th Annual California Constitutional Convention of the Moor Science Temple of America. Wow. But here's the thing, there is no California Constitutional Convention for the Moor Science Temple of America. There's a national convention that's supposed to happen every year, but Noble Drew Ali didn't create no California Constitutional Convention. No, that is a creation of Mr. Nathaniel. And that is where he linked up with Shahid, who is the co-founder of this Brain Trust Association. What in the doohickey is going on? Look at that. And you see it says the Moor Science Temple of America. It does not say the United Moor Science Temple of America. So as you can see, it's not an accident. It's not I misspoke. No, no, no. This is intentional. And what is the connection? What is the connection, Rami? Well, as you can see here, in 2023, he connected with the co-founder of this trust association, Shahid Ali El. And if you go on back to that New York Senate proclamation, we can see in 2013, Mr. Nathaniel joined the Moor Science Temple, California, number 101, where he was appointed to the position of Grand Sheikh by who? Shahid Ali El. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, not good. Not good. Run through these questions before I get up out of here. I ain't even going to highlight all the problems with this quote unquote trust association. You know what I mean? You should watch it though. Get yourself in some real trouble. Finishing up. Next should be Light Tajiri Bay. Yeah. I got to think about it. Atmos Ra, he has said earlier, instead of being in your room, what are you doing for the Moors? Well, one of the things I'm doing for the Moors is providing clarity. And not just Moors, American citizens alike. Helping people to realize the difference between a true Moorish American and more scammers and frauds and more sovereign citizens like Sabir Bey, and now as we see, Cozmo, aka Nathaniel. Okay? Can't move as a nation because Moors like this guy. It's online to make others look bad. How is this helping our nation? It's my fault. Mr. Cosmo, Mr. Nathaniel is scamming and lying and deceiving people, misleading people, misusing the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, but it's my fault because I'm speaking about it and identifying it for the lies. I got you. I got you, Atmos. I don't do nothing but be in my room downplaying other Moors. You right, man. You right. You right, man. You got me. Guilty. That's all I do. That's all I do. Do I have an issue with research? Nope. I mean, I think if you've seen from this session, no, I do pretty good research. I can do a part 2. Oh man, I'm gonna get back to the bottom of that. I appreciate that statement. Because yes, that's correct. Food sovereign food, sovereign energy. What the? Yes, I agree. What are you doing? What are you outside in your community doing to help your people? Why, Ray Davis? Why? Why does it even matter? Whether I'm doing something or not, it doesn't matter. Me showing you, what does it prove? Nothing. So just assume, just take Rami don't do nothing but just get on here and talk about other Moors because he's a hater. You know what I mean? Just believe that. It'll work better for you in life. Ray Davis, he don't answer questions. He just babbles about nothing. Okay. Abdullah believes that Moors and Masons are working together. C.M. Bay supposedly was a 33rd degree Mason, no record of him. Yeah. Get the hate out your heart, man. I feel you. I mean, man, what a hater I must be. You know what I mean? Just a vicious hater, huh? Dang, man. Rami be tripping. He just be hating on everybody. What's up with Rami, man? Well, I think that is all the questions. What I did want to say, there's not any temple in California. To highlight that, back to the question about where the brother asked Mr. Nathaniel how many temples are across the nation. Now, if the Moor Science Temple of America was operating correctly, anytime there was a new temple that was wanting to open up in some city and state and anywhere in the nation, in the country, that temple would have to send documentation or request or notice into the grand body. Hey, this is our membership. This is where we're located. This is our members. This is how many we have. These are the dues. This is a record, a report of all of the business dealings that we have for the month. They send it in to the grand body. The grand body has representatives from all of the existing temples. They all work together. It somewhat models the U.S. government, the Congress, the Senate, the judicial, executive, legislative, similar. Not the same, very similar. Point being that there would be a record of how many official, legitimate temples there are in the country. And if he was a legitimate or valid national grand sheikh, he could speak to the grand secretary or the supreme secretary and get an accurate report. How many temples do we have in the nation? And they would easily be able to produce that. But they can't because the Moor Science Temple is not operating correctly. Why is it not? Because we don't have a Supreme Grand Council. Cozmo L, Taj Street Bay, all of these scammers know that. They don't want to address it because it calls them out on their lies. Assalamu alaikum. Yes. Oh snap. Last thing. I appreciate that. I forgot to highlight this real quick. I ain't even going, you know what I mean? I ain't even gonna play with you. Right here. Boom. I zoomed in. Right here. This is back to their website. Frequently asked questions. It's on their website, Cozmo Nathaniel, that bought the domain name Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And the question says, let me take this down. I appreciate the comment because it just sparked my thought. And this honestly is what frustrated me so much that I said I got to speak on this and got to call him out as the fraud and the liar and really deceiver and like just wicked stuff. The question says, can I still be a Christian and a Moor? Mr. Nathaniel, or whoever is in charge of his website, but his organization states Christianity began in Rome in 325 AD by Constantine, the Roman emperor. Moors and / Moorish Americans have a divine and earthly salvation that links them back to their old-time religion of peace, where we stay in harmony with all living beings as practicing the highest principles known to man: love, true peace, freedom, and justice. We are taught that we Moorish Americans must return Christianity back to the pale-skinned nations of Europe and return to Islam. We honor all true and divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius, etc. Our brother Jesus was a Muslim. These are lessons for those who love Jesus. Therefore, we are returning Christianity, not the sacred teachings of our brother Jesus. The question was, can I still be a Christian and a Moor? Not what are we supposed to do with Christianity and the sacred teachings of Jesus? Not, hey, can you give me some information from the Circle 7 Quran? The question is, can I still be a Christian and a Moor. Does this say yes or no? It doesn't answer the question. And that is a key quality or attribute or that's a distinct what is the word? That is what more sovereigns, these frauds and liars, do. If you ask them a direct question, how many temples are in the nation? Well, you know, it could be I think, and because we got 4 major. Stop lying. Can I be a Christian and a Moor? Yes or no? What is the answer? The answer is yes. Well, where are you getting that from, Rami? Why are you saying that? Well, that's what Noble Drew Ali said. Did you know that? Did you? Mr. Ray Davis, did you know that? I hope you knew that. But let me show you, just in case you did. Matter of fact, yeah, let me show you. Here we go. Back to the Moorish literature, which, by the way, Mr. Nathaniel should know. Mr. Nathaniel was selling on his website, which all Grand Sheiks, especially national Grand Sheiks, should have read this and known this. So you can't say, oh, I didn't know. This is Noble Drew Ali's writing about the Moor Science Temple of America, founded by him. Aside from the fact that it is a legally organized religious corporation. Here we go. Boom. Oh, come on. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Matter of fact, let me just, so it's all in one paragraph, so you can see it nice and clear. Boom. We good? Now let me zoom in, Ray Davis. Let me zoom in, Ray Davis. What does that say? Can you read that, Ray Davis? We of the Moor Science Temple of America, like countless other American citizens, know that we must live here together. Know that we must live together here in America in harmony, friendship, and goodwill, whatever our race and creed may be. It is only from a purely religious standpoint, it seems at this time, that we differ from a large number of our fellow Americans. We believe in and foster the Muslim religion. We believe in its principles of its teachings insofar as they can be adopted to American life. We feel that the Christian religion is all right for those who prefer it. In America, Jack, religious freedom is guaranteed to all under the Constitution. Ain't that something for you? So, back to the question. Can you be a Christian and a Moor or a Moorish American? Yes. Noble Drew Ali said the Christian religion is all right for those who prefer it. Noble Drew Ali is quoted as being said that some of our best Moors are still in the church. So to try to make it seem like you can't be a Christian and a Moor is extremely harmful, Mr. Nathaniel, Cozmo, and all the cronies lying under the United Moor Science Temple of America, bogus corporation, organization, whatever you want to call yourselves. Stop misleading the people. Stop falsely using these lessons, Nathaniel, and everybody else that's watching this. It's disgusting and it's harmful. We're supposed to be working together, living in harmony, regardless of our race and creed. See, you didn't have too much more to say after that, huh, Ray Davis? I appreciate it. I like the silence. Love is the key. Love is the way. Much love to you and yours. Much love to Cozmo and all the liars of the United Moor Science Temple of America. Y'all bogus. The alleged Moor Science Temple of America in Oakland. Y'all bogus too, but love to y'all too. Y'all need to get right, but love to y'all too. And let's have a great day. Peace.